Disclaimer: the following program features language not suitable for all audiences, and the expressed opinions found within this program are a reflection of those who feature on the PopCulture Effect podcast. Welcome to the PopCulture Effect. I'm Rockin Rob, and on this show, I bring my closest friends together to talk about all the news happening in our pop culture world around us.
Welcome to the PopCulture Effect. My name is Gemini, and today I'm joined by two of my greatest friends. We've got Tyler over in that corner.
Hello.
And we've got Rockin Rob in the other.
I'm in my gremlin corner.
Oh, get out of my f***ing corner, you idiot!
Okay, I'm sorry. It's been so lonely these past few weeks. Okay,
leave the corner for 5 minutes to start this damn shit, and you take my spot.
You say it's lonely, but everybody else, we've still been here.
Yeah, I know, but I had to drag Trent in here to talk about the horrible Lilo and Stitch movie. It's been lonely, okay?
Yeah, you did have to drag me, bitch.
I saw I know you guys talked about it, but I saw the trailer for that yesterday, and when she points to Stitch, when she's trying to tell her that she's got a dog, she points past the chair that he's sitting in and points to the ground.
Yeah.
You gotta love live-action movies
child
where
actors that shouldn't be actors.
She's trying. She's trying. She's a child.
You can't point at a puppet?
And you can't have adults play the part of children?
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, that's a conversation. That's a can of worms.
I already have a mess. Yeah, I already have a lot of opinions about Hollywood and their actors in Hollywood and casting direction. Anyway.
Well, now that I've covered the more cosmic side of Marvel from last week with Avengers Doomsday, and with the whole Fantastic Four trailer coming out after the fact, despite the fact I do really enjoy the contents of the trailer and what's coming out, I'd rather see the full movie come out because the trailer didn't show that much. So for right now, I want to talk about the more street side of Marvel because Daredevil Season 1 just wrapped up, and I wanted to take some time to talk about how well they represented both Matt Murdock, the lawyer, and Daredevil, the anti-hero. And it really shows Marvel understands how to use Daredevil in a way that is faithful to his character. Whether it's the more violent nature of his fights and actions, or it's the more vulgar part of his presentation, this is the Daredevil we've all been waiting to see. So much so that Season 2 is already in production, so that kind of just shows how invested MCU is in this character, and not to mention his cameos in shows like She-Hulk and movies like Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, speaking of Spider-Man real quick, with Spider-Man Brand New Day reportedly taking place at the same time as Avengers Doomsday, I would actually love to see Daredevil act as a kind of moral compass or mentor to Peter, now that he's kind of all alone with nobody else that remembers him. I truly believe this would be an interesting pair in my eyes, no pun intended, because we'd get a great dichotomy between their characters, and I would love to see how that would play out because Peter would not be receptive to the more violent tendencies of Daredevil. But with how Peter lost everything and he's all alone, he may resort to letting out some of that frustration and aggression, but that's pretty much all just headcanon, as is the rest of this mentor talk. But to get back to Season 1 of Born Again, with the more fan-servicey conversation around it, we got some great cameos of characters like Bullseye and Frank Castle, and of course Kingpin, but what I would love to see for Season 2 would be more street-level characters like Kate Bishop, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Yes, I know he is more of the super-powered individual, but this kind of will fit in if my headcanon of Daredevil being his mentor comes true. And of course Echo, seeing as she's had a run-in with the Kingpin, and they pretty much haven't used her since her show. But most importantly, and yes, this is fully wishful thinking, but I'd love to see the band come back together with Elektra, Luke Cage, and yes, even Iron Fist. Now, I know the Netflix days of the Defenders and all their separate series weren't looked on fondly, but now that we've got Marvel kind of representing their characters in a more faithful way, I think the Defenders have a good shot at actually coming back. Well, that and the fact that pretty much every other superhero that isn't a street-level hero will most likely be sucked away to Battleworld, so this may give these street heroes an opportunity and a spotlight to shine, while everybody else is over having fun at the crossover Doomsday party. But this will all stem with how viewers are receptive to these street-level characters, and that will go down to how they're written and how they're represented. But with how much good faith Season 1 of Daredevil Born Again has kind of accumulated, I think we can give them the benefit of the doubt in the sense that they kind of know what they're doing. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to discuss when it comes to Daredevil Born Again Season 1. And, briefly touching on the more cosmic side of Marvel with the Fantastic Four trailer. But at this point, I think it's time to send it back to me and my friend Menace as we discuss the upcoming Bungie game, Marathon.
Moving on from one company that is doing interesting things, Menace, what do you have to talk about with another company that I know is very near and dear to your heart?
Oh, Bungo.
Is it near and dear to your heart? I don't know.
It's near and dear to my heart, but it's like you with EA. I love and hate them.
It's like a piece of chocolate you kept in your pocket a little too long.
But if there's one thing that Bungie is really good with, it's marketing and ARGs.
Yeah,
and this weekend,
I have to give you
they
that.
They launched a blitz of ARG things for their new extraction shooter Marathon coming out.
I literally only knew about this
to start off
cross video.
Yeah, this I saw this on Twitter, but from their page, they all of a sudden it was either Friday or Saturday, they started posting pictures of. There was one that just looked to be like the Marathon logo, but it had some glitchy stuff behind it, and it said incoming message. And then there was another one which is like green and pink brackets and squares, and most people picked it up right away that it was a Vivaldi cipher. So everybody in the theorist community and the Bungie community, even Mr. Raffle Waffles, who's a zombie YouTuber who just got into Destiny, hopped on this and was doing this all day yesterday and the day before. But they were dropping a bunch of different pictures and a bunch of different ciphers, some of which included a lot of puzzles, like I said before, from the Vivaldi music cipher to aligning a virtual satellite to get information. But through all this and through working out, there was a bunch of pictures, some music tracks, and some other stuff that I will be going over now. So for the artwork, we got a picture of what looks to be one of our antagonists, looking at like a virtual map. They got like a hood with some red eyes and some face paint across their eyes, looking real sinister. We got what looks to be a virtual catalog of the different weapons we will get. It doesn't show like any stats or anything. The text is like it looks almost like the original Marathon, where it's like that old computer style where you don't get to read the text, but it looks like a good variety of weapons. I'm seeing at least like a few 3 to 4 ARs, some marksman rifles, sniper secondaries, SMGs. We got a couple of other photos. One of some of our runners is what we're called in this, where we go and collect the data in the game. We got one of the same robotic person we saw in the first announcement trailer that was being like formed and covered into metal to become a runner. We got another picture of her, so maybe she's of some significance. And there was one that showed some of our other runners. The names have not been confirmed yet. We have seen there's a girl with like a bun with black hair and a puffy coat with a collar. She's been known to have sort of like healing abilities, and she's kind of like a combat medic. There's also like a tank guy with a visor that has some words on it, and he's in like full thick military gear that we know nothing about. And there's also looks like you're gonna be able to play as like a robotic character, almost like a drone from Titanfall, if you guys know what that is.
Ooh, I hear Titanfall. You talking the bigger mechs?
You know the robot guys?
Like a big mech?
No, not like a big Titanfall mech, like the robot guys that would run around on the ground with you.
Yeah.
Looks like you can play as one of those as one of the runners. There was also some music tracks. It's called Code Race, which is the Marathon opening. And there was more of the soundtrack that was teased out after the ARG was done. But essentially what all this led up to was throughout the weekend, and the other people, they found the message that led to a link giving us a teaser trailer for Marathon, and it's scoping out the island. It's showing some of the runners going around shooting, showing the planet that we're on. And I haven't actually played the original Marathon, but I know this is the planet that you are stationed over in the original Marathon games, and you are on the station above, and you're part of this whole mining company, and I think that you're playing as the runner for this company in it. But there was something weird in the trailer that there's some glitched out, like you see the person down and the environment starts to glitch out around them and stuff like that. And then a little robot cat comes up, and it looks like there may be more of a story to this than just hop in, grab loot, shoot people, get out, which would be interesting to see if there's like stuff in the open world that you can interact with, or if there's going to be like an actual single player mode. But we shall see, because at the end of this trailer, we got Marathon gameplay reveal April 12th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Which is next week.
Next week Saturday. So I'll be watching that, and I can cover it next week, in all honesty. And the gameplay reveal will be April 12th. So we will be getting some gameplay trailer. Hopefully we'll get some more story to go along with it. I am actually very interested in the story, because the story for Marathon is like, it's set in space. It's about rogue AIs and you trying to take them down. It's science and sci-fi shit, and that's my jam.
They may and going off your thing, your comment about it may having a single player story, I think to the contrary. I think it's more likely that they'll have it be the story takes place within the world of the looter shooter extraction.
Like as you're going through it.
Yeah, like we've seen in like the finals, or I can't remember any other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Finals wasn't an extraction shooter, but I get what you're saying with how they told the story during the matches and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see them doing that, because another game that at least we played, and you played a little bit, Apex did that, and they did that to a very good degree, where obviously besides a lot of people landing there at the beginning to go and interact with the item, but you could go and interact with stuff, and it could influence the map for a little bit while that event was going on, or while that story beat was doing. And I want to see more stuff like that. I want to see story stuff that influences the map of these constantly online games. I feel like a lot of companies have strayed from that just to, I don't know, crank out more titles instead of, I don't know. You for those that have listened for a while, you know me, I'm quality over quantity. I'd rather a game take 4 years and be the best game to ever come out than a game every year and have them be the same shit, different title.
And see, I'm coming from the perspective where I have the assumption that like Marathon was a game where Bungie was like really hesitant whether they were going to be able to actually put it out or not, like financially.
No, they weren't actually. So from a Destiny perspective, I hate Marathon.
Because
coming from a Destiny player.
Away.
No, because that's what it has been doing. Ever since Marathon has started in development, so they started it, they brought a bunch of... They took the main PvP person away from Destiny 2, and a bunch of other people from Destiny 2, put them in the Marathon team. Sorry, I kind of have the hiccups. But then all the layoffs and stuff happened at Bungie that we've talked about here, and Marathon hasn't been touched by that. They then added more people from Destiny 2 to the Marathon team, and they've been just adding more money and funding into Marathon. And their first round of people that playtested it, they said they hated it, so they essentially rebuilt it from the ground up.
Oh no.
And that's why it's been taking so long. They've delayed it like twice already.
I mean...
Which I can understand getting the game right, and I appreciate that. But Destiny has fallen to the point where I'm not even playing it anymore, and I don't even have it installed, because partly due to the amount of resources they've funneled into Marathon instead of Destiny.
Well, that's what happens when a company has more than one project and they want to put more resources. Guess what suffers? The other projects that you love.
Well, that's just company management and how they place their stuff. They didn't have to put all of that into a game that's being made when their cash cow, their baby that's been running for over 12 years now, was doing well. Final Shape made it boom and had more players than like ever before, and then they fumbled the bag afterwards.
And now everybody's like, oh, Destiny 3. It's like, that's not the solution here.
But besides getting off of Destiny, going back to Marathon, I am cautiously optimistic. Looter shooters are a very risky move, in my opinion, for a game, not genre, but like a game model. You have to it's a form of live service, so you constantly have to be adding more stuff, otherwise it's gonna die. And they're already running a live service with Destiny, so running 2 live service games on top of each other just kind of worries me. And it depends on how they play it. I know that it's set in space and stuff, which is kind of Destiny's bread and butter. I'm not too worried about that. They did make the original marathon, so I'm not too worried about the story. It's gonna come down to gameplay and presentation for me. Have you seen any of the trailers or anything that have come out for it?
I saw the trailer with the cat, and I looked into it a little bit further because I've been the person I've been binge watching all of Ascross's videos talking about it. I've been looking at articles. Because I know I was the person that completely dropped off the face of the earth for Destiny just because I just couldn't get into the game.
It's just not true.
The story of the background story of how the developers are being affected, how Marathon is affecting it, I felt it was really interesting to look into. I don't know it to the extent that you do, but it's something where even now I'm kind of interested to see what Marathon has cooking, if it's going to be something that's going to be worth all this time and money and layoffs and effort and fan investment, I'm always the pessimist. I'm always going to be the guy that's like, is this going to be as good as they say it's going to be? Or, I mean, you'll be hearing me say that a lot at the end of this session, but it does look cool. I will say, on a baseline, it looks cool.
It looks cool, but I don't know. I feel like it's really going to come down to when we see this gameplay trailer. This weekend. No, I agree. That's going to be the make or break, because it's one thing to see a pre-rendered cutscene, and it's another thing to really show off how the game is going to be looking on a base level, but then to actually see how it is moment to moment, to see how the frame rate is, to see how the intuition is with the controller. I say that it's going to come down to it, but it's not really going to come down to that for me. It's going to come down to when I actually get my hands on it and I can feel how the game plays, because seeing a gameplay trailer is very influential for how like you just said, seeing a rendered cutscene is completely different, but seeing a gameplay trailer and actually feeling how the game plays is also completely different. They can make a gameplay trailer look really good and smooth and clean, and the game could still play like shit.
Yeah, but to the very least, at least from a gameplay perspective, we know that Bungie is competent. Because Destiny 2 has been running for 10 years. And from a gameplay aspect, it's great.
I'm not too worried about it, because even people that don't even play Destiny and they'll try it for a little, they'll be like, yeah, I hate the game, don't understand the story, the gunplay's amazing. I love Destiny gunplay. I wish more people would have that fluid. There's just something about it that feels different from other shooters.
Okay, here's my question. Since we are discussing just hypotheticals until we watch this trailer, what are some of the qualities that you want to see them import from Destiny, and what are some that you just really want them to avoid?
I don't want them to import anything from Destiny. This is a completely different thing, not even connected to the Destiny universe at all.
No, I'm not saying from a lore perspective. I'm saying from a gameplay aspect.
From gameplay?
Yeah.
It depends, because I don't know how the runners are gonna work. Because the runners could work completely different than the Guardians. The Guardians, you have unlike normal shooters where you just have normal jumping or sometimes double jumping, stuff like that, mantling. You have glides and blinks, and hunters in Destiny have these twirly dashes and dodges and stuff. So you get more movement than in normal ones where it's just sliding, running, jumping. You have you can actually fly semi in Destiny. So I would like to see some advanced movement like that. Maybe I know there's a person who's got a sprint buff. We've seen that from the first trailer. There's someone who's probably got a grapple hook with how the environment looks. Stuff I'm really looking for is, I guess, when it comes to it, balance. I don't want any character to just feel oh, if I don't play this character, I'm gonna lose all my stuff. If I don't run these two particular weapons in an extraction shooter where there's 30 different weapons, I'm gonna lose. I don't want to feel like that.
That is the folly of every shooter nowadays. You're what is the balance that the creators are gonna put in, and what is the abuse that the player base is gonna impose on it?
I guess to kind of focus more on your question, I would like to see the general, I guess, gameplay mechanics, I guess you could say. Just the smoothness of, I don't even know if they're using the same engine. They could, because Destiny runs on the Tiger engine, which is an engine they made for Destiny. That's Bungie's engine.
Do they have it patented?
Yeah, it's there. That's what they started on. What?
No, but like to the point where nobody else can use it.
Robert, when you create something, you patent it.
No, okay, no, sorry, ignore me. I'm thinking of something else, ignore me.
But anyway, then, I think if I remember, actually, let me look this up real quick. I think Marathon is on Unity, but I want to see like the smoothness of like the running, the sliding, the mantling. It's not like COD where you get that little like you grab and then you have that frame where you feel like you're slower. You feel like you instantly go from running to sliding to climbing, and then at least in Destiny, then you can teleport jump to someplace else, and it doesn't like disorient you. Unlike COD where you land and you get that little shake in your screen and stuff like that. You don't get that in Destiny. I like that. So that's what I want to see out of Marathon, bringing from Destiny, is that kind of stuff. The fluidity and smoothness that they have of their engine in the actual gameplay mechanics.
Okay, but what parts of like Bungie's bad habits do you hope they avoid? Because like I know that's kind of a luring issue that affected Destiny.
Oh gosh. Well, Bungie's bad habits for Destiny may not even apply to Marathon because they're completely different games. Servers, that's going to be a main thing. PvP in Destiny has always been really bad when it comes to server issues and connection issues. So having it be a looter shooter, going to have to focus on having those servers, which they have said that they're supposed to be dedicated servers for it, which was another controversy between Destiny and Marathon, is that everybody was mad that they're getting dedicated servers and Destiny doesn't.
Yeah, I understand. I understand the frustration.
Yeah. But I guess overpromising and underdelivering is a big thing that Destiny does with their DLCs and worries me for Marathon as well. Because looter shooter players, not everybody's going to play it. Not everybody in Destiny is going to want to play a extraction shooter. So it's like the people that are going to play this are going to be the heavy extraction shooter people, and they are people that will, most of them, not everybody, but the hardcore ones are people that grind the game nonstop, collect every item, and then they're like, well, I don't know what to do. This game's boring. Uninstall. So it's like, I don't know. I don't want them to overpromise and be like, oh, we're going to add 15 different guns and a new map and this and this and that.
And then they're like, we have to delay plans due to corporate. No, not even that. They don't do that. It's more of they'll put the stuff in. They'll put like the guns in and the maps in. So they'll put in what they said, but like they won't put in everything, or they'll be like, you'll get the guns, but the map doesn't come, or something like that. Like it's a lackluster feeling. It's hard to use. It's hard without using Destiny examples all the time. I mean, it is Bungie.
Yeah, Bungie has a way of hyping stuff up with their advertisement and making it seem a lot more impactful than it is.
Oh, they can showcase.
Oh yeah, they can.
It's all about execution.
And that's what it's going to come down to for Marathon. It's going to come down to the execution, in all honesty. But yeah, that's all I really got for it until this next weekend, where the gameplay trailer drops,
which you will hear probably the week after this goes out.
Yeah.
That was until the trailer came out, and yeah, not much to say about it. Sure, some YouTubers got some early access to an alpha, but yeah, it'll be a bit before we talk about it, because we kind of want to wait until we get our hands on it. Now, after discussing Daredevil Born Again Season 1, I want to take things back to our roots and talk about another YouTube project coming out of Glitch. Now, Glitch is firing on all cylinders ever since they debuted The Amazing Digital Circus, ending their series Murder Drones, and now piloting a brand new show in the Gaslight District. Now, the Gaslight District is a dystopian, rotten Earth world with some very dark and swampy visuals of broken down cities, with the citizens of the district being macabre, undead demonic beings. Everybody looks really distorted and surreal, and everybody also has interesting and random designs with expressive animations and over-the-top personalities. Now, to get into those personalities, I am loving the cast of characters we have. From the crazy Mud, the dim-witted lovable Breadhead, the unpredictable and main character of the series, Melancholy, and her hothead of a father and leader of the Smiling Dead crime family, Ken the Butcher. Now, the big goal and journey our main character Melancholy will be taking is the fact that she's gotta hide her human origin in a world full of demons, and she'll have to find a way to kind of shift the focus away from her so that way she's never suspected. But at least she has her dad Ken to communicate with, and that kind of makes their bond a little bit closer than she is with the rest of the crew. But I will say as a side note, whenever media or cartoons have the whole big secret, can't share it plot point, they never have anybody to really discuss it with. But I mean, it's gonna kind of be easy to find out the secret, as everybody else in this district has purple blood, and she's the only one with black blood. And this kind of problem leads to, I kid you not, a planned heaven heist for the human egg. Now, the one interesting concept for this show, in my opinion, is the fact that it seems like everybody with purple blood are essentially immortal. They're unable to be killed by conventional means. But to briefly talk about the animation style, it is really unique and unlike anything we've seen from Glitch thus far. This horror-inspired gory animation has expressive and impactful moments and scenes with some really different visuals and camera angles than what we're used to. Now, this may not be as popular as their smash hit Amazing Digital Circus, but it is a great way to branch out to a different genre with different animation techniques. And the amount of gore, blood, and chaos is honestly very charming to me, and I'm really glad they took this shot in the dark with this kind of show. The quality has shot through the roof with this show, and it really shows how much time, dedication, and passion Glitch are putting into this project. And if you want my honest opinion, this puts some animated films to shame. But it'll be interesting to see how long Melancholy can keep this secret up and what other secrets we will discover behind Heaven's Gates. Because I will say this Heaven heist was really cool. I won't give too much away because I do want all of you to go check out the pilot and the other preceding episodes after the fact. But yeah, this was a great start, and genuinely, with this pilot, I feel that Glitch's creative freedom when it comes to their shows means they could pretty much do anything. Whatever they feel passionate about, or whatever story they feel can be interesting and kind of take a left turn in what others are expecting you to do, is great. You got to keep your content fresh nowadays. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to discuss when it comes to the Gaslight District. This is beautiful. I would definitely suggest going to check this out, as it amplifies everything I love about YouTube now. Creative people making creative projects with full creative freedom. But again, that's all I have to discuss when it comes to the Gaslight District, and now I think it is time for me to send it back to me and Menace to end this week's episode. Anyways, that's, like I said, that's pretty much everything we have to discuss for this week and all other subsequent weeks that this session is attached to, because holy shit, we went for 2 whole hours. That's crazy. But yeah, thank you so much, Menace, for joining me.
Oh yeah, always a fun time.
And thank you so much, Gemini.
A pleasure as always.
And now it's time to... Whoa, I almost did my corner outro. Whoa.
Don't forget the plug.
Yeah, I forgot all about the plug. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're checking us out on the CJSW network, make sure to check out all the other lovely programming they have to offer. And that's it for us this week, so we will see you in the next one. Farewell.
Bye-bye.